How long have you known Pastor?
Well, considering my age, it's been a little over 47 years, and this year would have been our 45th year of marriage. So, long time.
Before we do the sermon, let's stand, lift our hands to the Lord, and just show our thanksgiving and praise to Him, because God is a good God. Lord, we thank you, we praise thy name. We honor you this morning. We thank you, oh God, for what is, what shall come. Lord, thank you. You are mighty, you are great, you are marvelous, you are good. Thank you, Father, for all you've done and who you are.
I met him through my brother, and I didn't know him at the time, but they were hanging out, and I didn't know he was liking me or anything like that, so I never really paid any attention to him. So that went for about 2.5 years, and I still didn't pay any attention to him. But all along, he was scouting out me the whole time, and I didn't know it. I got up one morning, went to sit on the toilet, and I said, "Oh, I'm in love with Bryant." And it came out like that. And then my mom came in there at the same time, and she said, "Guess what, Paula?" I said, "What?" "I had a dream about a wedding feast." I said, are you? And I said, I said, "I love Bryant, Mom." She said, "Wow." And that's how everything got started. And within months, we got married. They called him Bible Boy because he had this big red Bible, and he would walk everywhere. He didn't have a car or anything. And this is after I had met him, because he was like 16, 17, and that was during those 40 years before we got married. He was excited. He said, "What?" I mean, he's never a person that jumps up and down and say, "Oh my God," and this and that. And so he just had it wasn't like a totally excited. It was like, yes, a manly excitement. That's what I do remember. Yeah.
So your firstborn was Tamika.
Yes.
What would you say about Tamika and Pastor's relationship?
One thing about Tamika, she's always been the same about helping people and wanting to just serve, and she used to do that as a little child. Or she would never say, do you need something? She was always she's tried to follow up and just do stuff for people, and we wouldn't even have to tell her. And she done that as a child. And now, when you see her now, it just grew. And we found out, I said, she's gonna be in the ministries of help. That's how she started out. "Dad, you need something?" That's how she would be as a little girl.
The earliest memory that I have of my dad is when I was young. He would always take us to the nursing home. Me and my mom, for some odd reason. So I started the nursing home at a very young age, and hospitals, because they called him Bible Boy. So I do remember going and visiting people that I did not know all the time.
I think there's like 4 years in between my first and second. We were still excited because we wanted to have our children quickly, but it still took about 3 or 4 years, and so we was excited. And the second one was a little bit different because my first was real teeny, and my second one was a little bit more. She was the biggest babies of all 4 of our kids. That was Tara. Yeah, that was Tara. She was my second born, yes.
Sarah, what's the earliest memory you have of your dad?
Probably he had come home from like a long day at work, and you could tell he was tired. But then he had got a call from one of the members. I think they got rushed to the hospital, and I mean, he just quickly put his shoes back on, ran just right back out the door. Didn't complain, nothing. Like, he was just about people, and I just always remembered him doing that.
When she was a child, we found out that she knew how to delegate and get done what she wanted to get done. And a good example was when we went to Disney World, and we stayed in a nice hotel. It was more like a townhouse or something like that. So everybody's walking in, and she looking around, and she noticed that there wasn't a lot of towels and washcloths. And I saw her putting a towel and a washcloth in her caboodle. She didn't know how hotels work. She was really young then. And I was thinking, well, why are you putting that in there? She said, because it's not enough of them, and I want to make sure I get mine. So that tells you a little bit how she was. She's not selfish, but she's proactive and stuff like that. She notices things. Yes,
What was that like?
Bryant Crumes Jr., and people call him BJ. After he was born, what I remember, we were in the hospital, and we was in the hospital, and he was so excited because he finally got that boy. So I figured, I said, this is gonna be the last one because we got the boy. So he went and told my father, and he was in the waiting room, and he said, I got the boy, Mr. Stevens, got the boy.
Welcome. All right, so what's the earliest memory you have of your dad?
Okay, so three-year-olds class. Okay, I got in trouble. This is horrible. This is the earliest memory. But anyway, I got in trouble, and I remember them calling my dad, and I'm scared the rest of the day. So after school, he's the first one there. Normally, he was the last one there. And he got this big old black man in an all-white school in a big old black coat like this, mad. And I got in trouble that day, yeah.
With his son, one thing we found out, he was so proud of Bryant Jr. that when he would go to Bible class, he would put his newborn picture on the blackboard while he was teaching, because he wanted everybody to know he had a boy. It just came in his heart that he said, now it's time. And so he said, it's time to start the ministry. So that's when the ministry began, 1982. The ministry started, it was like a beehive. So many people found out that Pastor Crumes was getting ready to start a ministry. They wanted to come and help because we purchased a building. That's another story. We're not going to take a long time to deal with that. But people were so excited. They would come around and want, Pastor Crumes, can we help you? Can we help? You know, they wasn't a member because it was just getting started, hadn't opened or anything. But they wanted to be a part of the beginning of that ministry. And that's how it first started out. Word just got out, and we just had help and didn't even have to ask for it. That's when we started. Of course, I need to mention, before ministry got started, he had great men of God in his life, Pastor J.C. Williams and Pastor A.L. Dew, that got him started before he became pastor. And then as we began to be in prayer to seek who to have speak into our lives, he laid on across our heart Apostle Frederick Casey Price, and he's the one that got us started in ministry. And then we came across Dr. T. Garrett Benjamin, and just to name a few, Dr. Al Jennings, Dr. Skip Powell, Prophet Daniel Bird, Pastor Lloyd Bratton, and many, many other pastor friends that we came in contact with. The ones I mentioned were the ones that really became a part of our lives. I have to name this person last because we knew we had to have a father in ministry. And so Apostle Leroy Thompson from Darrell, Louisiana, when we first heard him, we knew that he was going to be the father in our ministry. And through the pathways of this ministry, we finally met him, and he became our father in ministry.
Tell me
Yes,
about that.
and it was to our surprise because I really didn't want any more kids. I was 35 years old, found out I was pregnant. I feel like I went in shock, but I think what brought that on, we were on vacation, having big fun in Los Angeles, so we never will forget it. And we were with this couple we would travel with a lot, you know, and just take out some time. And we found out after I got home, I was pregnant.
When I was little, probably 5 or younger, my mom would always put me in the bed, and then my dad would always come get me out the bed and take me downstairs to his rocking chair and rock me to sleep. It was probably the earliest memory.
And when she was young, she was spoiled. When she was older, she was spoiled. And the reason why I'm saying that, Pastor Crumes' baby girl. When you say baby girl, that's how she was treated. Because he loved all the kids, but when she came, I was thinking, this is going to be the last one. He held her a lot. I mean, he grabbed her first when she cried. I mean, it was like night and day from the first 3, to be honest about it. And as she grew older, you know, kids get chores and stuff like that, he was the same way with her, so he would sneak and help her with her chores. And I was wondering why she got done so quick, especially with the dishes.
So many funny memories of Pastor Crumes. The funniest thing I think with my dad is that I remember, one time we were traveling, and it was our families. It was my family, the Jennings family, and the Bauer family. We travel a lot together. And so my dad decided that he wanted to use a van that was just broke down, or he didn't think it was broke down, but he just wanted to drive the van because he didn't want to rent one. And the van broke down. Going on this trip, and we could not understand it. So we were able, he was like, oh, this van is okay, it's fine, it's gonna work. It broke down. We had to get another one, but we were able to get this bomb watermelon on the side of the road. But that was hilarious.
One of the funniest ones. Most people, eat cookies and milk. They have a glass and then they put their cookie in the milk. Well, Dad would walk around the house. He would drink the milk and then put the cookie in his mouth. Then all the milk would come out, it's all in his beard, and then we had a dog, a big Italian Mastiff, would lick it off of the ground. Like, who does that? So we were like, Dad, why are you drinking it that way? I said, he just cracked up. We just can understand. He just did random things. It's fine.
Okay, so we're on a plane. I forget where we're going. And he's speaking in tongues to some lady talking who knows what. And she's responding back and forth. And we're all back there cracking up. And Dad ain't cracking up. He's just talking. That was so funny.
So I was either in kindergarten or first grade, and it was after school. And so you're supposed to walk around in a circle with your teachers, and then when you see your parent, then you can go to the car. So all the parents are standing outside, and I'm walking around, and then I hear my dad. He always used to say, Sarah, I want you, I need you, come here. And so he would always say that, and he was yelling that through the parking lot. And I was so embarrassed. I just kept walking around and went back in the building. I didn't even acknowledge that he was there. I was like, no. So he comes into the building. He was laughing. He was like, why didn't you come to the car? And I was like, that was so embarrassing. You were yelling all through the parking lot. So we laughed. It was so funny. Thank you for being an awesome father to me, being an awesome papa to my daughter, and also showing what God love is. I think my dad had a heart of gold, and his heart spoke volumes to everyone he met, and his humility was just amazing. So I will always say thank you for that, and just the best gift he ever gave me was Jesus, and I thank him for that, because I honor him for his example of who God is. So I want to say thank you for that.
I love you, and thank you for introducing me to my Heavenly Father, showing me how to live this life, totally dependent on God, because that's what I always saw him do.
Just say hi, and nothing specific to say. Just say, "Hey, Dad." I always remember the response was, "Hey, son." I'll never forget that. Always just, "Hey, Dad, how you doing?" "Hey, son." So nothing specific, just, "Hey, Dad."
I would just say, "Hi, Daddy. I love you." That's it.
Everybody back closed.